Hello everyone, and welcome to our today's session of International Dark Sky Week. We have a special guest with us, Deep Anand, joining from India, and we both are international dark sky advocate, working on light pollution and protecting the dark sky in India, especially, and I'm working in Pakistan. As we know that these countries always had some border issues in throughout past, and but when we talk about dark sky, we all are living under the same sky. So our today's discussion is going to be how we can work together to protect the night sky collectively through collaboration, and how we can bring more peace in this region to the through the dark sky. I would like Deep Anand to introduce himself about what he's doing and about himself. Yes, please.
Okay, so thank you first of all for inviting me here. I'm really glad to be a part of this talk. Okay, so I am Deep Anand. I have been working with IDA for the past couple of years, and I have been working individually for protecting the dark from the past 4 years now. Before 4 years, I used to work on it individually, as a single person by hosting out seminars on basic astronomy, and then I moved it forward to hosting seminars on light pollution because I thought this is a topic that we should get to the public. But after a while, I figured out that I can't do it alone, and there are enthusiasts who want to join this cause. So I founded an organization around 4 years ago, and its name is Seva Stars. And our basic aim that we have is to spread awareness about light pollution through ingenious and unique methods that other people don't really get into while talking about environmental conservation of any type. So yeah, I guess that's about what we do in a nutshell. I guess we can move ahead with it as we go ahead with the talk.
Yes, exactly. So I really like because the way you are doing is very creative. Because as we all know that in our countries, in subcontinent especially, we have light pollution is not our major issue. We have so many different issues. Light pollution is like a very modern elite class issue. People normally call me that you are targeting some elite class, I guess. I said no, it's like you are affecting because of light pollution as well. And I highlighted it's not something very fancy. It's or even dark sky. Initially, when I started working on it, people call dark sky as something. It's a dark sky society or secret society or something mystical or magical society. Some people who are working on this because they were not aware of this. People who are living in Karachi, living in the city of light, haven't heard about this word dark sky. Was very new, innovative, or something which is not there in their vocabulary before. Came to their dictionary, was quite overwhelming initially, and now people are slowly, gradually accepting. It took me a lot of time as well, as you mentioned that you started individually, and later on you started your organization, Save Our Stars, right? So I think this similar like this, my story resonate with you, and that's why I wanted to invite you, because the passion to protect the night sky is actually within our heart, and like we are working to do something which is quite unique. At the same time, we are highlighting those issues that is already there. People do not care in our region, especially because we are facing a lot of like pollution related to traffic pollution. No, air pollution is one of the major issues in our country when we talk like in general, traffic, waste management, poverty, job crisis. There's so many other issues, but light pollution considered as least prior issue in our region. And but when we see the light pollution map itself, I think it is growing with what I say, with the speed of light itself. Like it's growing by 2% every year as a global report. So we still have like a lot of people in India. They started some projects, and including you. So what do you think? I would like to ask you that what strategies that you use? Are you, because I think you are working through education to aware people about the dark sky. These educational activities, how do you conduct these activities? Are they STEM-based activities, and what are they? Can you define some of your strategies?
Okay, sure.
Yes.
So, okay. So first of all, as you were saying about that we have a lot of problems in our countries, in our respective country regarding, we have almost all of the problem because we are in a developing stage right now, right? So, and you mentioned that light pollution is somewhat of a developed country problem or an elite class problem. So, when people ask me this, what I answer to them is that, see, when they have when the countries like America and Europe, the continent of Europe, they have developed countries and they have this problem of light pollution. They are working on it right now, but we are in the developing stage right now. So what if we make our focus on this also during the time of development, and whilst because we are adapting to new things right now, we are adapting, we are developing, as I have said it before also, that we are developing so we can impart these practices of dark sky friendly fixtures during the time of development, so that after we have developed, because we are in the prime time of developing right now. So if we can impart this at this point, then when we have developed, we won't have to go through our resources once again to change all the lighting fixtures once again. So
Exactly.
that's, yeah,
Exactly, you're right. So be proactive before the storm come or any severe condition come. You are already prepared for it. How to fight against the light pollution, because
yeah,
it
so we
is
can learn from the
yes.
countries that have done this before, because they are doing this right now after the stage of develop. They have reached the stage of development, but if we can do this right now whilst we are developing, then we'll be in even better developed countries once we have reached that state. And it will take time for us to be completely developed, but if we are doing our development, why don't we do it according to the all the recent inventions that are being done? Like, if we know about light dark sky fixtures, if we know that this thing exists, why don't we impart it into our system from now on only? Why do we need to waste our resources once again, once we think we are an elite class, and once we think we are a developed country?
Yes. So the problem that I figured out, it is actually somehow missing in our curriculum as well. Like when we talk about our curriculum, we don't find any relevant information available to talk about light pollution or anything that is creating awareness about this issue, even in our curriculum. That is the major issue that I found. Because I am also working through art education, these tools, but because first we need to create awareness. That's our first priority. We cannot go to the ministry to implement this without any momentum or any movement. A dark sky movement should start in Pakistan and India, maybe through collective action, through any interesting artistic video, how peace can bring how dark sky can bring peace in this region, is going to be more innovative, more creative way of doing this outreach or awareness activity. I think this is what I am thinking, that we should do, because it will make people realize that we are sharing the same sky, and there is more, like there's no borders at the moment, in this space or in the sky. We are just doing this for our own lame excuses and all these what I say, political issues. But in general, we all are same. Like even like we share the same culture. we have same values, same what I say, same cultural activities, same rituals. Everything looks same, like food, everything. When I see Mumbai, when I see Karachi, it's like oh same. There is no difference. I
There
don't
is
find
not
any
much
difference
difference.
because
It's just the political difference,
yes,
that's it. Otherwise, we're all under the
yes,
same skies. And dark skies and nights, actually, nights are the only shared culture that all over the world people share.
yes, exactly. So how do you think like education is one of the basic tool that in our country that is required? Even in India, in Pakistan, we need more um, content, curriculum design, training material required in regional languages as well, like in Tamil, in Pakistan, in Sindhi language, Punjabi language. Similar, like there are so many languages in India. We need more uh, strategies to replicate the same curriculum in different languages to cascade the message of dark sky in this whole region. Um, any strategy that you would like to use or implement through your educational activities, through awareness activities that you like to share with us, that this is the best tool? Because I figured out art is very entertaining, because we don't want to listen so many messages or even curriculum. Even we've designed so many things, but art I felt like was one of my favorite, because I paint as well. So I realized that why not through art protect the night sky and translate the effects of light pollution through art, bring more understanding, or what I say, people become aware, or sometimes people like to take interest in this, what it is like, just take what are you guys doing in general. Yes,
Okay.
how about you? Yes, please.
Okay. All right. So one of the few practice that I have been doing for a long time. Okay, so I focus on two major things. First is writing. Like as you said, art. I am also using art as a means of it. Just instead of painting, I'm using writing as a mode, because I am a poet myself. So I thought, why not use poetry as a form of reaching out to people, or reaching out to people's sentiments, because light pollution is more of a sentimental or emotional problem than an scientific problem. Because if you really want to reach out to people, art is the key. So yeah, first one is poetry, and the next one is letting people realize what they have been missing out on. So one of the most important things, any person working in outreach for dark sky advocacy, is night sky observations or evening sky observations. They play a major role, because when you host any such sort of observation, you'll obviously have some sort of equipment or telescopes with you. So when people see through the telescope, how much if even if they are seeing moon only, even if the telescope is not of that much of magnification, even if they are only able to see moon, they'll be able to see it more clearly. Then you explain to them that if light pollution was less here, you might have been able to see this much of clarity through your naked eyes only. So these sort of observational events are a really good way to go, because first of all, it attracts the youth, and it not only attracts the youth, it also attracts the people who have been associated with, not even associated, who have been interested in watching the stars or anything. Because uh, the generation before us, okay, is like our fathers and our father mother, they have been they were raised below the stars. They saw so many stars that we can't even see, we don't see right now. They've seen around 10x stars that we see in our age. So that's the thing, they also want to relive those moments. So when something like this comes up, even the student, and what I try to target is that we host these events in an educational institution, so that students are targeted, that they come to us because they are interested, they're getting to see through telescope. It's for some people it's a once in a lifetime opportunity, so they come to the event, and their parents accompany them too, because it's something that they haven't seen before, or it's something they want to relive, that seeing so many stars or seeing at least anything clearly through a telescope, or getting some information regarding it. And since this topic of light pollution is quite it's quite factual, so uh, people don't relate to it that much if we talk to them about it directly. But supposedly we have an observation. Now during that observation, you stop the observation for a moment and tell them about this problem. You tell them about this, or you give them some sort of what can you say, visual using some visual aids. You give them some sort of explanation about what this problem truly is. What I like to do is, wherever we have the observation, I go one night before to that place, and I see different light sources over there, and I see how much shielded they are. I note them all down, and when we are having the observation, I stop the observation in between for a moment, and then I explain to them that, see, these different types of light pollution sources are there. You don't know much about light pollution right now, but what difference can you tell me between these? So there are different colors of different color sources. There are different shielded sources. So they indulge in this activity, and they discuss amongst themselves, and they come up with some answers. Uh, and what we do is, we then tell them that this light is causing this much of light pollution, this light is causing this much of light pollution, and then we move on to the effects. That, yeah, these light sources are there, but what are they actually doing to you? I know you can't see those effects right now, but in the long run, light pollution is actually a slow and gradual enemy of ours. So slowly and gradually, it eats the ecosystem out.
Yes, exactly. So the way, as you mentioned, that you show them different examples. I give one example which is very interesting. Maybe that is like, when you see people sitting in a candlelight dinner, people feel relaxed more, they enjoy more, they feel very romantic. What is happening if I say, let's go on let's go on date, and I take someone on a date where they will see white light in that room, or maybe so how do you feel in that situation? I think it's not comfortable. It's not, it is something which is annoying at the same time. But why? What happened to your mood actually? This color, this light is actually affecting you. So this color, temperature have an important role in your life as well somehow, because these color, like the light itself, like when you go in limelight or candlelight dinner, you feel more relaxed, your body temperature goes down. It has some psychological effects on your body as well. It is affecting you. It means that's why you feel more relaxed and calm, and you feel more relaxed. And that's why we don't have to lit up the night with the white lights, with bright lights. Then I jump into this topic. So keep them entertaining as well. So keep them connected with the issue, because we don't find much options available. For example, I give them, like, we cannot see fireflies anymore in Karachi. Never ever see. I have never seen. So why is that? Have you seen firefly? We must have studied somewhere the stories of fireflies in our curriculum, but we have never seen it. So what is the reason? So these are some different topics that I connect and talk about it, especially for the schools. And I think these methods to especially resonate what they can connect with is very important. Like, if you're giving some example which they are not resonating with it, they cannot get the idea what is light pollution till then. It's very easy to like, glare is easy to talk about, like, because of all these glare effect that happen when you're driving the car. You can see easily the glare effect. And I think these common examples, especially for the kids, are really important, because they can connect with those issues and understand Yes, there is light pollution. That is light pollution. So how do you think, it is going to be my last important question, that how do you think that we should collaborate, and do you think we should come up with better ideas, create this region to be more inclusive,
Yeah, I cannot hear you actually. Hello.
okay, can you hear me right now?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I was saying that what do you think how we can do this collectively here in Pakistan and India, that how we can work together to bring the audience together, because we almost speak the same language, like we because we watch Indian movies a lot, and I'm sure you listen to some Pakistani music and everything, so
Actually,
we should create
Pakistani
some
music is my jam.
important so exactly, we should, like, we watch a lot of Indian movies, like you name it, we have watched it. So I was saying that how we can, I think we should have some workshops, collective actions in our local languages as well, because a lot of barrier comes in when we only talk about these issues in English, even in not in our national language or regional language, or it is hard because a lot of people cannot understand all these things because of the language barrier that I found is missing. So what do you think, do we need to have collaborative action in our national language or local language, communicate in this communicate about this topic, will help the audience to understand this, or any other method that you recommend to bring more peace through the dark sky? Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, using local languages or using regional languages as a means of communication is a really good idea, because it's a problem that I have been facing for a long time. Like, the thing is that what when I and whenever I host an event, online event, so we get participation from either all over the world, or all over India. The thing is that even if the participation is from all over India, the languages are so diverse. Uh, it's only English that's left with me, that I can use for communicating with the people. But again, many are there who cannot understand English also. So then that there comes a barrier. So there at that point we lose two dark sky enthusiasts that were joining our session. So yeah, if we use regional languages and if we collaborate on them together, that will be even great, because we'll be able to appeal to a much wider audience. Like, supposedly, if we are doing a session in Hindi or Punjabi, okay, like if we are doing in either of these or any of the of a specific language. Now there is a specific domain in India that speaks that language. There is a specific domain in Pakistan that speaks that language. And if we are doing it together and we are inviting people from both the countries, obviously the audience will be a lot diverse, but they'll still be speaking the same language, and they'll be understanding the problem a bit better. Because like,
Yes.
understanding light pollution is the biggest task. You can solve it just with just a matter of a switch. You switch on the switch, you switch off the switch, light pollution is gone. But understanding the problem is the main part. So yeah, if and in a regional language or in the mother tongue, it's easier for people to understand this problem. So this is a really great, really great way to go ahead with it. And another one that I was thinking was could be like, we both are into art, right? You are into painting, and I'm into poetry. Now, there are many, there are many collaborations I have seen in not in a specific light pollution domain, but also there are many artists that collaborate in this way, that there's a painting and there's a poetry, and either there's a comparison between those two forms of art. Like, poetry is making a comparison between those two forms of art, like what poetry wants to convey and what the it's not a comparison but a contrast. Like poetry wants to convey something different and the painting wants to convey something different, but it'll all fall under light pollution only. The next thing we can try is that both the painting and the poetry are talking about the same thing. The painting is talking about the things in the poetry and the poetry is talking about the things in the painting. So it's a method that many artists have used over time, who collaborated with each other, and it becomes a masterpiece. And uh, it helps appeal to even wider range of audience. Yeah, I guess
Exactly.
that's my
Exactly. Yes, as you mentioned this, that we should collaborate through art as well. As I have seen a recent collaboration between India and Malaysia, like artists from Malaysia, uh, Shaira and Murali from India, they collaborated. I think we also can do similar kind of projects to bring more artists, even poets like you, especially to bring everyone on board and have collaborative action, even through art, music, poetry. All these are very interesting tools that we should come up with. And I feel that the advocacy, keeping it in our local language, especially Hindi and Urdu, have similar. It's almost same. So if we do the outreach in our local language, like subcontinental language, Hindi/Urdu, which is almost same. Anyone can understand Urdu. Anyone can understand Hindi. Is going to bring more wider audience in our uh, advocacy, and to spread the message to a wider audience become more easier. Because right now what I feel, a lot of people still have, because in our countries educational crisis is still there. A lot of people are not educated enough to understand English. That is another major issue that I found in our region, why this message is not uh, going or spreading like a wildfire. So this is what I found missing here. Any other message that you would like to add? Because I guess my internet is lagging, but the recording is still there. I'll fix it while editing this, so don't worry. Yes. Um, any important message that you would like to share to our audience? Any special message from your side?
Okay, so it's the same message that we have been talking about since the beginning of this session, that you know there are only physical boundaries or political boundaries that exist. Night sky binds us all. We it's just a matter. It was just a matter of centuries that all these bifurcations were done. Before that, all of us used to sleep under the same stars. All of us used to gaze onto the same stars. From the ancient times, we have been, looking up to the stars and wondering about our place in the universe. And there was a point when only looking up at the stars was the only science that existed. So, stars were the thing that started science, and it's the thing that has binded us all. It's the thing that's mentioned in our music. It's the thing that's mentioned in our culture. It's the thing that's mentioned in our mythologies. And in our mythologies too, everything is almost same. I'm not only talking about our countries, about all countries all over the globe. The mythologies are same, the culture is same, and it's only because that at night people used to look up to the stars and they only saw that same pattern, and that same pattern also changed, but also those patterns were the constant in their life. So it's what binded them. It's what inspired development, and it's what inspires creativity, and it's what inspires art. So yeah, that's all I have to say.
Thank you so much for your time. I think that is a very important message for all our audience to bring more peace, I guess, to understand these important issues. Maybe because of all these border issues, we are not uh, in a current position to share the right message, or not creating awareness or destroying our own planet somehow. in many ways. Because, for example, a lot of people who are working on this in your region and our region is still facing difficulty, or so it is just because of the border. It is just because of some political issues, not because humanity itself, uh, as you mentioned in earlier, that we were living, or we were gazing the same stars from the ages, from ancient time. There was no such things existed before.